Shut up and sit down.
When I first saw the new iPad Pro's test results from our lab, I thought there was a big mistake. This new 10.5-inch tablet turned in performance scores so high that they blow away most laptops. In fact, the iPad Pro, starting at $649 for 64 GB, $907 with keyboard and Apple Pencil, smokes the new 12-inch MacBook and rivals the 13-inch MacBook Pro. That's how powerful the new A10X Fusion chip is inside this 1-pound powerhouse. But what can you do with all of that power? Actually, more than you might think, including performing sophisticated photo edits on the go, editing and processing video in seconds instead of minutes, and creating finely detailed drawings with the Apple Pencil with zero lag, thanks in part to a new display that dynamically scales its refresh rate. Despite a slightly larger screen than before, the iPad Pro still isn't a great laptop replacement, even when you add in the optional keyboard. But that equation could very well change once the multitasking-friendly iOS 11 software arrives this fall. Laptop eating power. The A10X Fusion chip inside the iPad could very well be the most powerful mobile processor ever. The 6-core CPU and 12-core GPU combine to offer amazing power given the iPad Pro's slim profile. Part of the reason why the iPad Pro is so swift is because of the way Apple architected the chip. The CPU and GPU share the same onboard 4 GB of RAM, so there's no waiting for the graphics to go out and grab separate memory. The result is a tablet that beats most Windows laptops on the Geekbench 4 benchmark, which measures overall performance. The iPad Pro scored a crazy high 9,233 on the multi-core portion of the test. That's more than double the Galaxy Tab S3 tablet with the Snapdragon 820 chip. More impressive, the iPad Pro's mark is whopping 42% faster than the Dell XPS 13 notebook with the 7th generation Core i5 processor, 6,498. And 17% faster than a Core i7-powered HP Spectre, 7,888. The iPad Pro also runs circles around the 12-inch MacBook with a Core M3 processor, 6,853, and even rivals the latest 13-inch MacBook Pro on this test with a Core i7 chip, which notched 9,213. We will compare the performance of the Surface Pro versus the iPad Pro once we are able to test the former 2-in-1. Right parenthesis. So is this kind of muscle overkill for a tablet? Not at all. I handed the iPad Pro to our senior video producer, Judy, and she used Adobe Premiere Clip to take 3 clips shot with a Canon 5D and then edit them together on both the iPad Pro and a 15-inch MacBook Pro. After choosing the same in-out points and applying the same filters and transitions using Adobe Premiere Clip on the iPad Pro and Adobe Premiere Pro on the laptop, it took 22 seconds to render and export the clip on the iPad, versus 2.5 minutes on the Mac. Granted, the bitrate of the file on the MacBook Pro was higher, which resulted in twice the file size, 80 MB versus 40 MB, but the fact that the iPad Pro could complete this task so quickly is pretty mind-blowing. The iPad Pro is a graphics beast, too. The tablet scored 52,353 on the 3D Mark iStorm Unlimited benchmark, which hit a relatively weak 20,891. The iPad Pro also once again beat the Dell XPS 13, 49,214, but not the HP Spectre, 67,318. When playing Transformers Forged Fight, which has been optimized for the A10X chip, I experienced silky smooth gameplay as I morphed Optimus Prime into a truck and slammed into Starscream.